Hey there, Liz here at Hook's Greenhouse, and I just am walking around this beautiful greenhouse full of flowers. Everything's popping, and I just wanted to talk about what's blooming in the greenhouse that you can dig into for the weekend. So the first thing here are these beautiful lilies that we had a few weeks back. They were just all in bud, and now they're popping like crazy. We have lots of red ones, yellow ones, orange ones, so many different colors to choose from. They are just gorgeous and at their prime. This one here is Lily Looks Tiny Rocket. It's a nice shorter lily, great for the front of your flower bed. Beautiful. Lots of these little guys that are the tiny series. So these guys will stay nice and short. Beautiful for if you're going to start those perennial beds. We're going to have our perennial area hopefully fully stocked. Most of our product is gone. We've been selling it over the last few weeks, and we actually have sold all that we grow, well, most of what we grow, and we're going to restock with product from Willoway and a couple other greenhouses that are local growers. So you'll see this all full of flowers again just for the weekend. Okay, so here in Veggieland, we are loaded. We have tons of peppers, we have tons of tomatoes, lots of cabbage, lots of strawberries. We've been talking a lot about these awesome strawberries. They're all here. He's slowly bringing up zucchinis and yellow squash and cucumbers and spaghetti squash I see, and even some watermelons and some muskmelons. So as it's ready, he's been bringing this up. It's still really cold outside. These kind of things, they need their time to get out there, especially with days like this weekend with that cold wind. With peppers, tomatoes have been out. We have those actually outside where we kicked them out of the greenhouse. We're hardening them off. They're ready to go in your gardens. They are looking pretty good. They just need protection. If we do have a frost, I would say that you probably need to put at least a blanket or a sheet over them. Peppers are just a little bit more fragile. They're coming out of our back houses, which are still probably in the 50s, maybe the 60s. So need a little protection at night, but they are getting ready to be in the garden. So I know that Memorial Day is coming pretty soon. A lot of people are buying vegetables. They're getting prepared for this big weekend. That's generally when most people in our area like to plant their gardens. We are stocked up and ready. There is a slew of peppers. So if you've ever been back in this area, we actually have these great tags that my mother-in-law makes. Every single one she has made, come up with that write-up that's on here. They are a great tag. Peppers, they go from sweet all the way down to the hottest pepper that we carry. On this tag, it's going to say how many days until it's fruited, a little bit about the plant, how big it gets. It tells you some nutritional information and a picture of generally what the pepper or tomato is going to look like. Some of it you'll see like the big red, Red Knight, King of the North. Those are all nice red peppers, but remember that a pepper is green first. So this is its mature state. So a lot of people will ask us, why didn't my pepper turn red? It may be that you didn't leave it on there long enough. So mature red peppers, we've got King of the North, Red Knight, big red. If you want a mature orange or yellow, Early Sensation is a good orange one. Early Summer's a good orange one. Golden California Wonder is a great yellow. Orange Blaze, Orange Bell. Everybody loves snack peppers. It's a great one. It's just like those little miniature snack peppers you get at the store. Great variety. That's called Yum Yum. Lunchbox mix, Yum Yum peppers. That's all kind of the same thing. We have those right there. Gypsy pepper, a great sweet pepper. Cubanelli, that's a yellow one. It kind of looks like a banana pepper, but it's sweet. Full Jew is like a jalapeno, but it is sweet, so hence the name, Full Jew. Sweet bananas, medium hot blocks, Hungarian wax or hot banana. That's the same thing. A lot of people ask us, where's their Hungarian wax? Where's your hot banana? They're the same thing, just called different things. Medium hot block, it's a little bit not as hot as a hot banana. As you get into these hot peppers that are over here, they'll actually have a Scoville rating. Scoville ratings tell you how hot it is. They actually rate that. So medium hot is 500 to 600 Scoville. If you go all the way down the row, jalapeno, 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 Tabasco, Thai hot, habanero. You get into this habanero and we're at 200,000 Scoville. Scotch bonnet and Carolina Reaper, 2,200 in the Scoville rating. Definitely not something I am going to eat, but we do have it. I think that we have Ghost and another hot pepper. I can't think of it right at the moment, but those ones are still a little bit small. We'll have those later on. Over on the side here, we have all of our squashes. We have zucchini, we have yellow squash, lots of different cucumbers. People ask us what's the best cucumber. We have bush cucumbers, so that's going to be something that stays bushy, doesn't trellis. A lot of people really like the burpless. That's considered an English cucumber with less seeds, thin skin. A lot of people really enjoy those ones. Similar to the English cucumber you would get in the store, the long one that's usually wrapped in plastic. So you can grow those yourself. One of the ones we've been doing forever is a yellow slicing cucumber. A lot of people enjoy those. They have tender skin and a sweeter flavor, so they're not as bitter as a normal cucumber. I would say my favorite out of all of those is probably going to be the burpless. I just like those. I think a lot of people like the gherkin or even the straight 8 for just being a general normal cucumber. Looks like the pickling cucumbers aren't here yet. Those ones might be ready a little bit later on. One of the most important things that you'll see here is that we have some very young and tender plants. So these little guys are newly sprouted. They still have their seed leaves. So if you look at that, these are considered seed leaves. These are very tender new leaves. They don't like the wind, they don't like the cold. So if you buy these from us, we're hoping that you put this in your house or a protected area and you wait till it grows up so that it can handle the outside weather. These here are our zucchinis, but you can see here's their seed leaves, and then here are their secondary leaves. So much different, very typical for that normal zucchini leaf that you would see. But this, once it gets to this size leaf, it can handle the outside environment. I still wouldn't want it to get frosted. It still is cold, but this can handle it much better than if you were to try to plant this one outside. And generally, these ones aren't fully rooted inside this cell. So even if you were going to go plant this, you want to very carefully hold that stem, flip it over, squeeze the bottom, both sides, and gently get this out of there. And you can see those nice white roots. It's nice and healthy, but this is about what you need to have this plant look like in order to plant it outside. We've got Michelle in Veggie Land. So if you have questions, and she's here, sometimes she's not here on the weekends, but when she's here, you got to ask Michelle. She knows it all of it. Yay! So we start here in the tomatoes with all of the red ones, and then we go down into the heirloom ones, and then cherry tomatoes, and I think the Romas are mixed in there somewhere. But we do have on these tags, it says the days till fruiting, and we actually do these in order of the earliest tomato that would be ready first. So I have Bush Early Girl is ready in 54 days, so that's the first one that you'll see here, and then it goes Early Girl, Better Boy is 70 days, Big Boy 78, and then so on and so forth. And then generally those heirloom ones are more on the end because that's what's going to take the longest time to get your fruit, is usually an heirloom tomato. People often ask us what our favorite tomato is, and I would say hands down that's Mountain Fresh. It's a good tomato. It doesn't split or crack when we have lots of moisture or water or rain. It has a great flavor. It's a really decent sized tomato. That's what we grow out in the field. So if you ever get tomatoes from us, it is generally the Mountain Fresh. I would say flavor-wise for the best one, I like Brandywine a lot. That's further down. I'll go grab that in a second. Sun Sugar's our absolute favorite cherry tomato. It's a yellow cherry tomato, good flavor, produces lots and lots of cherry tomatoes. I really like the Sunrise sauce. I made a lot of tomato sauce last year with it. It is a yellow paste tomato, very good flavor. I did pressure can my tomato sauce, so it wasn't a big problem for me to have a low acid tomato, but it made a nice, creamy, good tomato sauce with great flavor. A lot of people really like Amish paste, which I know we'd have to go look, but I think that Charlie finally brought those up. We got that seed late, so which is a bummer for a lot of people. They love Amish paste tomato. I think they're just now starting. They're in our second crop. Oh, one of the things I wanted to mention, if you see there's a lot of like kind of purpley leaf going on in these tomatoes, that is from them being outside because they have been hardened off. So whenever you have a tomato that's been more out in the weather with all this cold, especially a lot of the rain, cold rain, you'll end up with some kind of purpling on this tomato leaf. It generally just needs some heat. It needs to have some nice warm days, and it needs some good nutrition. We do tend to keep these not fertilized that much. We're trying to keep them right at the right height for you so that they're not crazy tall by the time you get in here to buy them. So we kind of slow down the fertilizer. As soon as you get them in the ground, all you need to do is just give them some slow release fertilizer mixed into your water, and they'll perk up, they'll turn nice and green. As soon as we get some nice warm days, they'll get nice and green as well. So you might notice that as you come in, you can kind of tell the difference. I think these came straight from the back greenhouses where they're not. These guys have not been hardened off, so they're much more green. You can see they're a little bit younger. And then if I was to pull these, you can see that purpley color. That's just from them being outside again. But you can see it's a much more stocky plant. It's ready to take off. I think he's going to bring some of the next crop up, which is going to look more like this. You may have to do your own hardening off, again, because they're coming from our warm greenhouses. If you pick out some of these guys, you won't have to do that hardening off. These are the young Amish paste tomatoes. You can see they look kind of fragile and frail. Amish paste, for whatever reason, always kind of looks a little spindly. It never gets really, really stocky like some of the other ones. It just tends to stay more spindly. However, what it lacks in its foliage, it really makes up for in its fruit. It generally has a really large Roma tomato that's very meaty, not really watery. It is considered, they say here, it's one of the 1900s Amish heirloom tomato. So it is a good old-fashioned variety. Gives you awesome flavor. When you're making your tomato sauce, you definitely want to have some of these paste tomatoes. You'll have way less water that you have to boil down to get that thicker sauce. So we have the Amish paste, San Marzano, Roma. We even have this La Roma. And then this one is my favorite. It's that Sunrise sauce. Just a great yellow tomato. It's even great just sliced up and put on your sandwich or in your salad. I really, really enjoy it. I highly recommend you get it. Okay, so I just have some leaves here. A lot of people think that this is some form of blight. It's actually not. Tomatoes do really goofy things in cold wind. So this is actually wind damage. When we take something from inside a greenhouse that's been nice and warm and it's a perfect environment, and we put it outside and we have cold wind, like we are this weekend, it actually will burn it. And so this is just wind damage. This is cold wind damage. And then even when these tomatoes were outside, we had hail. We had lots of cold rain. I mean, we've had a whirlwind of weather over the last month, and this is what a tomato will do. So there is a difference between this and blight, but this is just cold wind damage. So if this happens to your tomatoes at home, if you seeded them, you put them outside, and you start seeing this, don't fret. Just pick off the leaves. They're usually on lower leaves. Sometimes they can be on top leaves if that's where the damage and wind came from. But you can pick these off, throw them away, and continue to plant your tomatoes in the ground. Give them fertilizer so that they can grow through all of this, and they'll be good to go. So we've got some patio tomatoes. Charlie's got a nice crop of these coming up from the back. They've been selling very fast. These ones here are the Husky Cherry Red tomatoes. These are great a pretty decent sized cherry tomato. I'll show you the tag there. It's just kind of, I would consider it a large cherry tomato. Good flavor. It is a determinate type of tomato, so it's going to stay relatively short in this pot, maybe a little bit taller than, we've got a little trellis in there. It's going to get a little bit taller, a little bit wider than this. It can last in this pot all season long. You just have to make sure you keep it well watered. So probably check it every day, probably morning and afternoon. As it starts setting fruit, it's going to need watered twice a day. So, and a pretty fair amount of water. You could figure in the middle of the summer, you're going to be putting about a gallon of water on it, especially when it starts to get real hot. And they're just loaded with lots of flowers. They're going to be full of fruit very soon. So these are the cherry tomatoes. Over here I have the regular husky red tomatoes. So over here, this is just the husky red. It's a normal slicing, well, maybe that big. Just a normal slicer, good for your hamburgers, things like that, your sandwiches. This is going to be what you're going to want to have. The cherry is great for your salads. These are $15.99 in this pot. They include the trellis and that one giant tomato plant. We have some straw flower hanging baskets here. This is a beautiful pink one. These are a great flower. You probably can hear it. Maybe it sounds like straw. Some people call it the little paper flower. This pink one is super easy. The only thing they don't like is too much water. Great for full sun. So wherever you have that high heat, people love to put them around their swimming pool. Wherever they would have, you know, a lot of that high heat. Full sun, straw flowers, beautiful, easy. It's really a showstopper. I had these in some of my planters last year, and they actually went all the way till the frost, and then the flower itself lasted all winter long. So it was still this color in my planter through all the snow. It just kind of stayed put. It even stayed upright in my planter, so it was kind of a nice extra bonus. Straw flower baskets, $26.99. So I'm over here in the shrub section. We've got these beautiful hydrangeas. They've been blooming, starting to bloom. This one here is the Let's Dance Can Do. Just a really solid big leaf hydrangea. This one is starting to bloom there. It's kind of got a pinky color. This is typically what you would have here in our area if you were to plant this in the ground. You can change the color on these with some muracid or like a specially designed fertilizer that's high in acidity for these hydrangeas. It'll usually turn them kind of like this blue purple color. We also have the Let's Dance Sky View. This is a newer one this year from Proven Winner. It's all budded up. It's going to be gorgeous. It's going to have some really nice color. This is supposed to be a solid bloomer. So if you really struggle with getting these to come back and bloom every year, this Can Do or Let's Dance variety is a really solid, true, hardy, big leaf hydrangea. Here's a classic Endless Summer. This one's Summer Crush. It's really neat. It's got a nice red flower. It can be like a purpley color flower. It's not blooming yet, but it's going to be this nice red, dark pink kind of color. Summer Crush, beautiful, nice big leaves. We have lots of nice oak leaf hydrangeas over here. The limelights are really starting to sell out. Some Deutzia, that's a nice one for clay soil. It's done blooming, but easy peasy. Lots of great hydrangeas, lots of great shrubs in our section over here in the back of the sales house. So I'm over here in the annual pot section, just past the annual flats, which are fully stocked. We have some tropical hibiscus. These ones are awesome. This is a new variety from Proven Winners. They're called Hollywood Hibiscus, Tropical Hibiscus. So this is the one that you can use on your porch. And then as soon as we have some cold weather in the fall, you want to bring it inside to have it as a house plant. It won't survive our winter here. It is not like the hardy hibiscus, which you can plant in the ground and it will come back in our zone. This one is just a tropical. So this variety is awesome. It's called Bloom Bash. It has 3 or 4 different colors all in one pot. So it has the pink, it has white, and it has red, and even an orange color in here. So very cool. This is that orange color. This one is just stunning. I can't remember its name. Heartthrob. So you can see it's got that orangey color with that dark throat, beautiful stamen, beautiful, beautiful hibiscus. This would make a great centerpiece for your planter. You can do this right in the center. Do some awesome petunias, maybe some foliage, sweet potato vine around this pot. Have a great high heat planter just like that. Behind us we have beautiful calla lilies. We grew these. I'm very proud of them. We grew some calla lilies last year, did fairly well with them, decided to expand it. So we have white, pink, peach, yellow. Even this one here is a mix of all three colors. So kind of neat. Calla lilies are very easy, very beautiful, great inside of your planters. We have this really cool color here. This is Dallas. That dark black calla lily. Beautiful. These are great for cut flowers. I had somebody buy these for her wedding. Just a really neat way to have a calla lily. They bloom most of the season. You have to watch that you don't overwater them. They have some fragrance. Really kind of a neat plant. Along this row here we have lots of caladiums. I've got pink and red and white caladiums. That's great for shady places, great for the center of your plants, your planter. We have some gallon black-eyed Susans. Those are in yellow. I think there's red and there's white. Got beautiful caladiums. I put these in my very shady planters that are on my porch. So I like to have them as my centerpiece, and then I put lots of impatiens, New Guinea impatiens around it, and I have a very shady back porch, and these are great for that. They get nice and big and full. Don't let their size fool you. Even though they look spindly now, they'll keep sending up shoots. They'll get very full, very big in your pot. We have some climbing sweet potato vine. That's great. And we have, this is that very famous Thunbergia lemon appeal. This is a black-eyed Susan vine. It gets its name because it has that yellow and then a little black dot in the center. Great for hummingbirds. They love it. It trails very aggressively. So we put these in hanging baskets. They climb up, they climb all over, and they also trail real far down. This is an annual in our zone. You can put this one in the ground if you wanted, if you needed a quick climber on one of your trellises in your yard. Some people will even just put them on their porch in their planter, let them climb all the way down. I've done this on my porch where it climbs all the way down. Got white, I've got this beautiful, it's not blooming yet, but we have these colors, this tangerine slice, which is an orange, but it really almost looks red. This white one, that's coconut appeal, tangerine appeal, and lemon appeal. All three of those are available in this gallon-sized pot with a little trellis. They're $14.99, $14.99 for this size pot. I do have some in hanging baskets, and they are much bigger. They are $26.99. Thanks for walking around with me. There are so much here for you to dig into this weekend. So many things are in bloom. So many flowers. We are in full swing. We are restocking as fast as we can. So much is leaving so quickly. So if you come in and there's something that you're looking for and you can't find it, please ask one of our staff. We are trying to refill the greenhouse as fast as we can. So this weekend we will be open 10 to 6 Saturday, and Sunday will be noon to 5. This is a great time for you to come in this week and next, just to kind of get ahead of the Memorial Day weekend, which is another very busy weekend for us. So stop in Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, and Sunday is noon to 5. Hope to see you soon. Bye.